Students, welcome to PrepLadder NEET SS YouTube channel. This is Dr. Santhosh Patil, your medicine mentor. And today we are here to have a casual chit chat with Fathhur Rabbani, who got a AML Rank 2 and CML 4 in the recently concluded INISS. So, Fathhur Rabbani, first of all, a big congratulations because that's not a small feat to achieve. And number two, welcome to the student group of PrepLadder. Students are very keen to know your preparation strategy, and probably they are expecting a little bit of guidance from you. So let me pose questions on behalf of students. Okay. Number one, how different is INISS preparation in comparison to NEET SS? This is like one standard that most of the students have. Like, should we concentrate on only one specific approach or try our hands at both simultaneously? So what do you recommend?
INISS and NEET SS. If you take the previous pattern of NEET SS, it will be more or like inclined towards the INISS. You will have a specialty of your choice, and it won't be a tough thing to choose between the subjects. But at the current scenarios, NEET SS is like a PG exit level exam, and INA you have to go into the subjects in depth, and so it would be a different approach for both exams, I think. So NEET SS, we'll be having all the exams. You'll be all the subjects you'll be trying to cover in at a PG exit level exam. And INASS, only 80% of questions will be from your specialty of choice, and remaining 20% of the questions will be from general medicine. So NEET SS also helps in preparing for INASS. The 20% of help comes from NEET SS. So people should also prepare for both if they are trying for INASS. They should not only go for nephrology.
Okay, now what do you recommend? Like that, you say 20% questions come from the general medicine, right? So for that 20%, how much weightage should be given by the student? Should he give equal weightage to super specialty and the medicine, or probably he can make a list of important topics from general medicine and concentrate more on that?
I'm not equal weightage. We cannot be given at this point because when we are if you are preparing for NEET SS and INASS, you just have to concentrate on the specialty of your choice because the NEET SS part will cover the 20% of the questions, so it won't be hard for people, particularly preparing for INASS. It would be much little difficult, but covering the infectious disease part would be much more. Better if you go for to cover the 20% questions. If you want to cover the 20% infectious disease and somewhat nephrology oriented or that specialty oriented general medicine part, you can cover. So that would be very much easy.
This time, how many questions were there from infectious diseases? Because as you said, traditionally INISS, when it comes to medicine, right, there is always heavy weightage given to infectious diseases.
I think I got some 4 or 5 questions I was able to note.
Okay. And do you think that 20 marks of general medicine is going to make a difference in terms of rank or standing? Or is it like how you perform on your core specialty makes the real difference?
The 20% of the marks will always make a difference because most of the people will be preparing for the specialty of the just. Only this 20% will be going to separate the people based on the rank. Even for me, I was fumbling on certain questions in general medicine part. I was not prepared for NEET SS that NEET SS. So only INASS I'm preparing. So I fumbled in certain general medicine part, and I'm pretty sure I made wrong in that. So that's the reason I may have secured a somewhat lesser rank.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the super specialty preparation, is it possible for someone to crack INSS purely based on Harrison?
I think INSS, coming to nephrology part, it's not possible to crack INSS with only based on Harrison because Harrison has it's like a practice oriented book. We can use that for helping our practice. It doesn't stress on facts, doesn't stress on any numbers. So it's not possible to crack it. And though all informations are given in Harrison, it will be a cramped. They will be cramping all the information in just 100 or 120 pages. All the chapters in 120 chapters in Phiali, they will be cramping in 120 pages. So it would be not possible to crack INSS with just Harrison. You can have it as a support.
Okay. What are the standard books you would recommend for the super specialty part?
Standard books, I would like to recommend Phiali.
Yeah.
Definitely Phiali, and sometimes you can't read Brenner, so we can have some tabular columns, some flow charts from Brenner to support the. Brenner is always a standard textbook for nephrology, and Fihali Fihali is a standard textbook, but it would also try to cramp everything. Brenner is like a research oriented book, and Fihali is like a practice oriented book. So it will like to uh, have support from Brenner also. And other textbooks, I have not read any dialysis textbooks or transplant textbooks. Sometimes I used to read Oxford textbook also.
Okay. The handbooks or the textbook proper?
And handbooks, sir.
Handbook.
For
Okay. Okay. Now, someone who is starting to prepare now for the INI as the primary focus, what resources would you recommend them to concentrate on?
like they should have some subscription first of all, because they cannot complete anyone cannot read the book as a whole. They should need some videos help or any classes. They always need some classes. So that's one important point. And notes, particularly they should have their notes, whether they are own handwritten notes or any provided notes, and they should use it for revision particularly. And most important of all is your questions. You should practice questions repeatedly, because reading is not something like reading isn't, and putting questions are entirely different.
Yeah.
Only when we put questions, we will know what is the scenario, what will be the fatigue we experience while sitting for the exams. And we should always go for live exams actually.
Yeah, true.
Most people will be going for exams that are expired, so that they could at once see the answers after they have completed the exam. But they should go for the live exams, and they should see where they are standing in the competition.
Yeah, true. Uh, okay. Now, when you're taking the mock examinations, it often happens that someday you perform well and someday your performance drops down. Does that affect your mentality, or does it give you a boost to start focusing more on your studies? How did it make a
Yeah,
difference to your preparation?
particularly they will affect our mentality, because most of the mock exams will be having some repeated questions.
Yeah.
So when we make mistakes on the repeated questions, I will definitely have some different mentality, because we should not make mistakes in that. I would think that if there is some 200 questions, if I have made wrong, once again and review that once again, if I put the 200 questions, whether I could get everything right or not, it will never be possible. We will always make some mistakes again and again. It will never be possible. That's because the process of going through all the 200 questions itself will drag our mind back. We won't be able to think properly. We can't think straight in that exam. So repeatedly questions should be tried, and if it is getting down, we should not always go down. We should always try to come back with any other additional steps we can take in that.
Yeah. Okay. The other question is last 30 days of preparation, because many students prepare very well during the 6 or 7 months of time that they have before the final countdown begins for the exam. But last 30 days emerge as the major differentiator, because for some people the strategy may go wrong and that can impact their exam performance. So how did you plan your last 30 days? Were you revising or only addressing Q banks or only concentrating on PYQs, or you had some hybrid approach?
Actually, I was not having 30 days. I just had only 23 or 25 days. I was having some issues for the previous month, and only 23 days I had. And I was not also aware of the exam at that time. Only before 2 days, I just registered for the exam. So this 23 days, I was keen that I should get a decent rank. Like last time, I didn't qualify, so this time I should qualify and I should get a decent rank. And what I made was that I can't. I can't do much more again, more than seeing videos or seeing any making any question bank, because I had completed most of the question banks, and most of the mark I have completed, and I have made some bookmarks of the questions that is difficult for me, and that needs some repeated understanding. So revision, mostly the revision part was made in the last 25 days. I revised my handwritten notes for at least 4 times, and also the questions that are bookmarked repeatedly. So that was the only thing that would make a difference between someone who is preparing for 7 to 8 months and not doing much of preparation for the last month, and those who is doing some revision at the last month. Revision always matters.
True. Okay. And now coming to that 20 marks of medicine, right? Because as you said, that is the differentiator for most specialties, like be it nephro, rheumat, cardio, endo. For most specialties, because everyone is extremely concentrating on the core specialty book, they're neck and neck when it comes to competition, like 1 or 2 marks here on or there. But the 20 marks of medicine can make or break a deal for someone, irrespective of how well they have performed on the core specialty. So, what would you recommend for the students to do? Because see, Harrison is absolutely vast. If you say Harrison versus 20 marks, then obviously Harrison becomes an overkill. Probably you cannot do 2 or 3 revisions of Harrison for that 20 marks. At the same time, INI, the exam team is really smart, except that they concentrate on infectious diseases. They keep flipping the other topics. Other topics are not very constant. Like, okay, constantly they keep asking from genetics or constantly from cardio or neuro. It is not predictable. Yes, infectious disease is one very predictable topic. And it is logically so because regardless of what specialty you venture into, infectious diseases will trace you, right? They're part and parcel of all the super specialties. So that is why it gets a weightage. But other medicine topics that they cover keep changing frequently. So what would be your recommendation for students who are starting preparation now? How much time out of their total preparation time in terms of percentage they should devote to medicine? And what should be their preparation sources and strategies?
First of all, if they are having a good base, like a MD, they have done their MD from a good college and they've seen many case loads, it won't be a difficult 20%, because it is more or less it is practice oriented. That 20% of the questions always be case oriented, practice oriented. Nothing will be more deep or more basic. Mostly it will be having a clinically oriented questions. So it won't be difficult for those who are prepared their MD general medicine exams, post graduation exams, even final exit exams very well. So it will be easy. And those who are not concentrated on that, those who are particularly concentrating on INASs, specialty subjects, for those who are doing rheumatology and nephrology, it would be a piece of it, because it is mostly a medicine oriented subject. So they won't be having any much deviation from their specialty subjects. And for other specialties, they should go for the 20%, like a separate preparation. And for the preparation, we can't go for a Harrison, because as you said, it is a very vast, and we can't retain any of that in our mind if we even if we read. What we have to do is just we have to use some general medicine marks at that time, like NEET TSS marks, general medicine question marks will be present. So we can use that marks to up our knowledge. We can surely answer at least 10 or 15 questions if you go on, if you try that marks and if you practice that marks. So if you want to have some uh, easy way, this is a easy way I could suggest.
Okay. Now, how useful you think the PrepLadder NEET-SS Q Bank would be for the medicine part of INISS?
It's pretty much useful, very much useful. Actually, I was not a subscriber for the questions in PrepLadder. I used only the free mock exams. Even with that free mock exams, I was able to answer. I was able to learn many things. I was able to answer many questions in the INASS for the 20% marks. Particularly, I was able to see some repeat questions. I was able to recall in that. Seen in the explanations, or see even the same questions also came. So I think it is pretty much very useful if you think. And also the explanation is also very much vast. It will cover almost everything.
Okay. So, student, there was a great insight into exam preparation from Fathhur Rabbani. Now, before we sign up, Fathhur Rabbani, what is the way forward now? Like any specific institute you are aiming for?
Actually, I'm aiming for a postgraduate PGH Chandigarh. I was aiming for, or AIMS Delhi, but this time there is only one seat in PGH Chandigarh, and AIMS Delhi is not offering any seats for this session. So I think maybe I will try for the next session, or I could go for a NEET test, and I could get some good institute in DRNB or some other colleges, good institutes with a good infrastructure.
Yeah, I think for nephrology, obviously infrastructure
Yeah.
matters a lot. Otherwise, the dialysis has become pretty basic, which is out available in all centers. But things beyond that, obviously, you need a good institute with good infrastructure. Students, I guess you have got great insight into how you should strategize your preparation for the INISS. and how to make use of resources. And with respect to nephrology, I think Dr. Fathhur Rabbani has given you the key insight: what should be your standard textbook, what can be your supplementary materials, and how best you can use the PrepLadder NEET assessed modules to supplement your preparation. So with that, we will finally congratulate Dr. Fathhur Rabbani, and also a heartfelt thanks for joining with us and enlightening our students about the preparation strategies. And me, along with the entire team of PrepLadder and the entire student community, wish you all the best for your career in nephrology. And we hope that we get one more finest nephrologist for the country. Thank you, Fathhur.
Thank you.